Now, let's kick things off with some of the fallout from the war in Israel and Palestine. Obviously, there's a lot of terrible things happening in the Middle East. But what's crazy is that some Americans have responded to that by deciding that we need to make things bad over here, too.
And a warning tonight from the FBI director about the rising anti-Semitism and Islamophobia in the United States.
I will say that this is a threat that is reaching, in some ways, sort of historic levels.
The Anti-Defamation League reports since the war began, anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. are up nearly 400% from the same period last year.
Muslim leaders are also reporting an uptick in hate crimes, with the Council on American Islamic Relations citing more than 800 complaints across the country since the beginning of October.
Well, saw that coming. We're so predictable with this bull, and it is bull. Okay, you know things are bad when anti-Semitism is up 400% and Kanye hasn't even tweeted yet. Okay? I swear, man, sometimes I think Americans only read the news so they know who to hate on. All right, some people will hear about a war in Sudan and think, well, I never heard of this country before, but yeah, I could learn some new slurs. All right? America, we have got to stop hating people just because of their ethnicity or their religion and go back to hating them for the content of their character like Dr. King wanted, okay? And there's so much actual shit to hate on in the world, like matcha. What is that? Why is it in everything now? Hating Jews isn't going to fix the Middle East, but hating matcha could result in some real change on cafe menus, all right? Okay? Now, there's probably some people out there saying, well, I'm not Jewish or Muslim, so this doesn't involve me. Maybe even some black folks out there saying, hey, at least for a few minutes, the hate isn't directed at us for once. I can finally get a weekend off. But that's not really the way it works. Once hatred is unleashed, best believe, it spreads to everyone. Because unlike Mitch McConnell's brain, hate doesn't stop. Yeah. Let's move on to sports. In the NBA, superstar James Harden has been traded from the Philadelphia 76ers to the Los Angeles Clippers. And I think it's a great trade because the Clippers need James Harden, and James Harden definitely needs some Clippers. Look at the bid, man. As always, sports commentators have a lot of strong feelings about this trade, but maybe some of those feelings you shouldn't say out loud.
He talked about going to Houston to be the old James Harden because he thought that's what they needed. They didn't have anybody else when he was talking
what
that
he
mess.
wanted.
But he's not going back to that. It's the man. I mean,
shouldn't use that word, but sure.
Developmentally disabled.
Sure.
To think that he is going to go to the Clippers where they have Kawhi Leonard as the number one option, Paul George is the number two, and still Russell Westbrook there, and think that he's going to shoot 25 times a night.
Listen, I didn't know what you were going to say today. I'm shocked. This is not going to work. What's going on?
Let me apologize for using that word.
Oh, man, Chris saw the tweets coming, didn't he? You see how high the other dude raised his eyebrow? Anytime an eyebrow goes that high, your ass is about to get canceled, all right? Look, Chris was getting a lot of heat online for saying what he said, but I think we need to have some grace for people using the wrong words. All right, Chris Broussard is 55 years old. As a rule, anyone over the age of 45 should get a pass on word choices, all right? It's hard to break old habits. It was normal to say that word back in the 90s. I'm not saying it makes it okay. I'm just saying there's a reason I still answer my phone sometimes and go, what's that? And now we know that language is hurtful to people, so we try not to say it. But fun fact, the word was originally the PC term, yes. It's true. The official word used to be moron, but people started using that as an insult, so doctors changed it to Then that became an insult. And then the same thing happened with special. So now they use developmentally disabled. But guess what? Now kids call each other DD on the playground. Any new word you come up with is eventually going to become an insult. So maybe that's what we should do. Maybe. Just say any word, but say it in the right tone, and it sounds insulting. I'm glad they traded James Harden. He's acting like a goddamn baked potato. Yeah, I said it, with no toppings. What I'm saying is, when it comes to keeping up with changes in language, we're always going to be a step too slow. I mean, special. I mean, developmentally, you know what? Just move on, please. Come on.